Jake Paul extended his win streak a few days back after an impressive decision victory over MMA great Anderson Silva. It was a pretty clean fight, but a lot of people have started claiming the bout was fixed and Silva took a dive. And while the problem child has already blasted those claims, he now has the support of UFC commentator Joe Rogan. Keep watching this video for more updates on the story. First up, it was bound to happen. Honestly speaking, we think everyone sort of knew this was going to happen since it's become a routine thing now. Jake Paul wins a boxing match and the entire fight world rips him apart for paying his opponent to take a dive. They said the exact same thing when he knocked out Woodley and Askren, and now that he's gone the distance against MMA GOAT Anderson Silva, people have once again come out claiming the bout was fixed. We know what you're thinking right now. He's had 6 professional fights and still hasn't fought a real boxer. Well, we've said this before and we'll say it again. Until the problem child fights a legitimate boxer, the accusations will continue to pour in. He needs to fight a real boxer to get out of all this drama. But yeah, back to the Anderson Silva fight. He has the support of a lot of people, including podcast king Joe Rogan. Also, it's not really surprising since talks about the fight being rigged had already started before the two gentlemen even stepped inside the ring. So it was bound to happen at the end of the day. And it's not Jake, Silva, or Joe who are the ones being salty right now. It's everyone who can't digest the fact that Jake Paul has put away one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time.
He's got that killer in him, obviously, but it's good, man. Like, it's gonna be a great fight. You know, as much as we respect each other, when that bell rings.
No one forced Silva to take this fight, and for everyone who thinks it was fixed, do you seriously think the Spider would have taken money to dive? Next, Rogan weighs in. Now, Joe didn't just go on air and blast people claiming the fight was fixed or something. He actually did a really detailed breakdown of the knockout to prove that it wasn't a dive. See, just seconds before the knockout happened, Anderson actually leaned forward to close the distance and land some combinations of his own. But as he's doing that, Jake catches him with a nasty stepping jab right to the chin, rocking Silva and making him fall backward. Just as Silva's about to go down, he leans to avoid a powerful right from Jake, which makes it look like he's diving. Now, the right punch doesn't connect, but it's the insane jab that messes him up. It might not look like a lot, but the kid hits super hard. Just imagine for a second, a stepping jab was able to shut down the Spider. That must have been a really devastating strike. But anyway, we watched the same exact moment ourselves, and it does make sense, to be honest. We think Joe is onto something here. It looks like he's diving because he had to lean to avoid the right hand. And like Joe Rogan, we're also super impressed with Jake's performance against the legendary Anderson Silva. It really does take him to the next level. Again, he needs to go out there and fight a real boxer to shut down the rumors. But is he a legit fighter now? Yep. This isn't the first Joe has been impressed by Paul's boxing abilities, and we don't think it's going to be the last either.
Don't get too confident in there, Barry. Gotta move his head and keep his hands up.
Moving on, he's improving. Alright guys, look, Jake might not be the best boxer in the world, but he's improving, and we're not gonna lie. The fact that he's been such a controversial figure growing up just makes things a bit trickier.
Man, we gotta get revenge. Me and you are doing this together. For him for taking.
Listen, I gotta walk around like this now. I swear to God.
He's always had a ton of haters, but now that he's made an entry into the fight world, his haters have seemed to multiply. There are just so many of them now, so every time he steps foot inside the ring, he isn't just fighting his opponent, he's fighting to silence all his critics and haters as well. Because the truth here is that Jake is a legit fighter now. The only problem here is people want him to pull off a miracle or something before recognizing he has skills. It's like they want him to go out and fight the #1 boxer in the world to prove he's a real fighter. Cut him slack, man. He's new to boxing, and he has to fight a real boxer. It's just a matter of time. He can't keep getting away with that.
Right hand from Woodley. Maybe the now opening up on Paul.
Dude, he can fight. He can fight. Is he the best in the world? No. But is he getting better with every fight? Yes. We totally agree with Joe here. Like we said before, he might not be the best in the world, but what matters is he's improving. He's getting better every time he steps inside the ring. So let's see who's next on the list. We know we've said this like a billion times already, but we're hoping his next opponent is a real boxer. Fingers crossed.
How's a boy? A jab and a straight right hand, and you have to set.
Following up, huge rigging allegations. Did you know almost the majority of the boxing world still thinks the Muhammad Ali versus Sonny Liston fights were both fixed? Yep, it's true. And while the allegations weren't directed towards Ali, even Liston's corner was said to be involved in fixing the fight. But there's literally no proof that actually indicates the fights were rigged. Like how everyone thought Liston's corner blinded him on purpose to make sure he loses the fight. Alright, then why did they take so long to do that? fixed? Why not just do it in the first round of the fight so Sonny goes down quicker instead of falling in the 7th round? Also, did you know he was supposedly taken down by his corner in the first fight and sold the second fight? It makes no sense, right? Why sell the second but not the first? Honestly speaking, we don't think Ali would have ever stepped inside the ring if he knew Sonny was up to something fishy. He's just not someone who'd participate in something so shady. But yeah, people still believe these fights to be fixed, even though there's no concrete evidence to this date. Up next, paid to lose. Remember when the Joker makes his appearance in The Dark Knight and gives everyone a free life lesson? When you're good at something, never do it for free. It's strange how Harry Thomas had been following that advice even before the Joker said it. He was so good at losing fights that he actually decided to make a bit of money doing it. Thomas sold his first fight back in 1937 when he took $8,500 to lose to Max Schmeling. You're probably wondering though, just $8,500? What's that going to do? Well, let's not forget this fight was fought back in the 1930s. That much money would have gotten you so much. It doesn't end there. We're guessing Harry realized it's much easier to make money if he just gets paid to lose, that he did it for the second time in 1938. And he didn't make a measly $8 grand this time around. No sir. The heavyweight took a whopping $23,000 to lose to Tony Galento. To put things into perspective, 23 grand today would be worth somewhere around $500,000. But Harry couldn't live with the guilt and confessed to taking money 2 years after the fight, with both bouts being ruled as a no contest. As for Max and Tony, it was never proven they were the ones to pay him the money. Now for 5 years for $500. This probably has to be the most embarrassing rigging attempt in the history of boxing. Imagine offering your opponent $500 to take a dive and then getting banned for 5 years in return. Dick Goldstein was set to take on Art Aragon back in 1957, and just days before the fight, Goldstein went to the National Boxing Association and said Aragon offered him $500 to take a dive. And what made things even worse is Art comically got sick and pulled out of the fight after the news made headlines. The allegations prompted an investigation, which led to Aragon getting banned for 5 years. Last but not least, Money Mayweather.
Floyd Money Mayweather.
We could do an entire video of fixed Mayweather fights, since he got accused of fixing bouts all the time when he was competing professionally. And let's not kid ourselves, even his exhibition fights have been heavily criticized for being fixed. Want examples? The Conor McGregor and Logan Paul fight. But the most famous of all probably has to be the one against Tenshin Nasukawa. Like the Ali fights, there's no proof this one was fixed, but Nasukawa would stumble and collapse after every single punch. There was even a moment in the fight when Floyd started dancing in the ring because Tenshin was just so out of it. That's it from our side, folks. So, what do you think? Was the Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva fight really fixed? And is Joe right about Anderson leaning to dodge a right hand? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.